welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are, thank you for stopping by. So this will be my second video on this channel. So my first video is me giving birth at 23 weeks. I'll leave the card up above here. If you haven't seen the video, feel free to scroll through and have a look. If you got any questions on that video, you can leave it on the comments. I always go through the comments and I'll probably answer them in the next video. But thank you guys for stopping by. This is the journey that we're all in together. So this video is for parents, guardians, anyone who's, you know, trying for a baby or want to know about life in Nicu or having a premature baby. So the aim of this channel is trying to build a community where mothers, parents, guardians can come together, share advice. I also want to start going live. Obviously, when I got enough followers on this channel, we'll start going live, having people online. We can do like Zoom calls and have a conversation and just kind of bring a lot of things to the front, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know that I kind of learned last minute, and I thought that if I knew about it earlier, it would have helped my journey a lot more. And also people on TikTok, I've been posting a lot of the videos on TikTok, so if you don't follow me on TikTok, I'll leave the name here and you can follow it as well, follow the journey. I always put in clips of how Legacy is doing, any dips or anything. I'm always documenting the whole journey, so feel free to check that out as well, and you know, like and share with anyone going through the similar things or someone that you want to bring this awareness to. That's the whole point of this channel. So again, thank you guys for stopping by. I do appreciate it. So do leave a like and subscribe, you know the rest. So I've got my book here with me because I just feel like I'm still emotional, so I tend to forget certain things. So I'm just going through my notes, so I make sure that to cover everything. Okay, so first off, if you don't know what Nicu is the neonatal intensive care unit. It's a 24-hour care for premature babies and sick babies. So you on the ward, on the service, you'll have doctors, junior doctors, nurses, healthcare assistants. You'll have literally a variety of healthcare professionals, you know, looking after your baby 24/7. It's mostly nurses in the rooms. So your baby's always cared for and looked after in this neonatal unit. So they'll always have a monitor on them, whether it's for heart rate or for oxygen levels. So they'll always have a monitor that monitors all of these things. And they've got a standard set where the alarm will normally sound off if the level drops below or goes above a certain standard level. These noises can be scary, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I went to see Legacy after my delivery, there was machines beeping left, right and centre. I didn't know what was going on, and I was so scared because obviously all you hear is beep 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 and machines are turning red. I felt like I could faint at that moment, but I kind of wish that I had an introduction onto the machine. So my baby was put in a giraffe incubator. So the giraffe incubator's got the temperature. It also has another monitor where you can see his saturation, so you can see his heart rate. I do wish, you know, I was kind of told about what all these levels means and, you know, what number it should be on, but I was just put into the room, you know, introduce the baby, this is the incubator, this is how you open it, this is how you close it. Obviously, hygiene care, you always have to wash your hands. And obviously, if you got any signs of COVID or any kinds of flu, if you're not feeling well, you shouldn't be at the unit anyway, but that's just common sense. You need to remember that these babies, their immune system is not there, and plus they're sick babies. And now if you're coming in with a cold or a cough and you're thinking, no, that's fine, even though you think it's fine, you might pass it on to the baby and they might end up, you know, in a worse situation, now needing more oxygen, more support, and this can actually hinder their development. There's a lot of knock-on effect to, you know, increasing oxygen for babies, which is another thing that I didn't know about. But because of Legacy's journey, I've kind of, you know, been told, and I'm asking a lot of questions now, kind of finding my voice, and I'm finding it more empowering for me to ask questions, because I'm like, if I'm not equipped with this information, I'm not sure what's happening with my child. So I'm having to ask questions. Even though I feel uncomfortable, I feel like I'm disturbing the nurse, I feel like I'm disturbing the doctors, I have every right to ask questions. And for my peace of mind, and for me also to know that what's going on with my child, and I can, you know, convey this back to the family, it's very important for you to feel empowered to ask questions. So don't be scared to ask questions, because the worst thing is you're going to be going home wondering what's happening to your child. You're seeing all these machines and probes going in and out of your child, and you know, you're sitting at home thinking, I don't want to disturb the doctors. please don't do that. If you need to ask questions, ask questions. That's what they're there for. So when I go to visit Legacy, obviously after going through the hygiene and checking in, I'll normally go through my assigned nurse for the day. So normally I have 2 nurses. I have a day nurse and I have a night nurse. They tend to swap shifts, and they will normally give you an overview of what's happened during the day or during their shifts. Once they give you the update, you can ask questions. Also, if you come early in the morning, depending on what hospital, because I think every hospital does it differently, they do morning rounds, or what some people call ward rounds, where the doctors will come and have a summary of what's happened, how the baby's progressing, talking about blood tests or blood results. If they've done blood transfusion, they'll literally discuss all the results in that morning or afternoon, whatever time they tend to do these ward rounds. So I think it's quite important for the maybe first couple of days, if you're not familiar with how the healthcare works with neonatal units, probably try and get there as early as possible. So this will be the time that you can ask the doctor directly, who's looking after your baby, you know, what is the progress, like how, you know, how likely are we to get discharged, at what date, or is there anything I need to be concerned about? Do I need to you know, prepare something at home? Is my baby coming home in oxygen? Do I need to, you know, talk to another team about, you know, potential therapy if he needs physio, you know, things of that nature. You want to be prepared. I understand it's easier to say now because obviously it's gone a while now, but at that moment you're not thinking, you're just thinking it's my child arrived. But it's better for you to ask these questions and know that, okay, I need to plan forward. Okay, I'm going through emotions right now, but I need to make sure that I'm prepared for when my baby comes home, or for the worst case scenario, if they tell me there's something wrong with my child, I need to be mentally prepared, and also prepared at home to see, okay, what do I need to do to accommodate my baby coming home, or what do I need to change? Is my home, you know, accommodating for the situation? And also the most important thing I would say, do you have support? So if it's things like transport, are you able to move around with your child? Do you need to look into getting a car, or do you need to get like a blue badge? That was another thing that I wasn't, you know, aware about. That obviously, because we're in this situation, some babies obviously come home with disability, and it's always good to kind of prepare yourself to get a blue badge. If you don't know what a blue badge is, it's a disability badge if you're driving. So obviously you can park at disability spots. Things like this, it's a lot of things that you need to think about. Hence why I had to write things down, just to kind of let you guys know. So I'm telling you things that I've learned. I found in this journey that lingering in self-pity, it doesn't help anybody, especially your child, because obviously babies can feed off energy, and if you come in, they're always sad, always emotional, like the baby can start picking these things up. So I try my best just to be positive, just be happy to see him, he's alive, he's kicking, whatever disability or whatever he comes home with, you know, it is sad, but you know, we're gonna fight through this, and it's not the end of the world. A lot of people come home with disabilities, but they still manage to have a good life. So that's what I'm taking it as, and that's what I'm gonna stick to. So that's what you need to focus on. Don't focus on the negative. Don't self-pity, because we don't have time for that. We need to be here for our children. That's what we're doing as mothers, as parents, as guardians. Your job is to protect that baby at all costs. The other good thing about neonatal unit is they have an express room, also called a milking room. So this is where you can go and express milk. So express milk is literally you're taking milk out of your breast into a pouch or a bottle. The nurses normally give you express kits, so these are normally available in most hospitals. You'll probably have to ask if you're not sure, but if not, I would say definitely invest in a pump at home. I've got a manual pump and an electric pump, and what I tend to do is I'll take the labels from the hospitals and the bottles, fill them up at home, and then take them to the hospital just to make sure that he's being fed around the clock. And that leads on to my next point, which is self-care. This is where you eating, make sure that you're hydrated, and you know, just staying focused on getting better, getting, you know, mental health help, whether that's therapy, whether that's talking to somebody. I know some people find it hard to talk to people. I'm one of them. I'm very much an introvert. So what I did, I reached out to my borough to see if there was any therapy sessions in their area that I could roll into. And the good thing is, the community nurse that I was assigned, she kind of advised me to go on therapy, and I'm on therapy at the moment. And I'm telling you, that's the greatest thing I've done, and I would definitely I recommend that you guys do that as well. Just to have someone to talk to is very important. That's what I found anyway. The next thing is visiting. At the moment at the hospital, at our hospital, we don't have visiting apart from the parents or guardians. So you can't have your mum come in or cousins due to COVID. So in our hospital, it's only the parents that are allowed in. If it's not the parents, it will obviously be the guardians that can have access into the ward and see the baby. This is obviously due to infection control, which is totally understandable. My mom has obviously been asking to see the baby, so what we tend to do is take a lot of videos, take a lot of photos and then send them. Some units might allow you to do FaceTime, but you probably just want to ask, because obviously you need to be aware there's other people in the room and they might get disturbed. But yeah, definitely ask about visiting in your facility. So these units tend to also have services where you can talk to other moms and talk to other couples or guardians in the same situation. They tend to be like any time of the weekdays and set time where you kind of gather in a room and kind of talk about your experience, how you're feeling, how you're coping with things. Again, if you don't have access to therapy, this is definitely something that I recommend. And just talk to other moms if you want to, because not everybody likes to talk to people. Some people tend to hold information in or just kind of deal with it in their own way, which is totally understandable. I said this is a sensitive time that we're in, and forcing other people to talk just for the sake of talking is not it. If you want to talk, or if you feel ready that you can talk, do so. If not, that you feel like, you know what, I need more professional help, try to see if there's any free therapy in your area or your borough could advise you on. But if not, just go online and have a look. If you can afford it, go private. Definitely saying talking to somebody is definitely helpful with my mental health. And the biggest thing I was told about was self-care. So going to do the normal things that I normally do. Since my maternity has now kicked in, I'll go to do my hair, get to do my nails, just normal things that, you know, I used to do just to kind of keep myself normal. But yeah, now being in Nicu has been very challenging. It's been emotional. It's been emotional. I think emotional is the word for having your child in Nicu, because things go around your head, you know, all the time. I'm wondering, is it being fed properly? Is it being cared for? Are the nurses showing him love? Because I know they're there to do a job, so I don't expect them to pick him up and, you know, cuddle him, or, you know, just kiss him, just sing for him, things of that nature. So, you know, things like that goes in my head, and I feel guilty when I'm at home, and I start thinking I should be at the hospital with him right now. So me watching TV or, you know, doing things for myself, like getting my hair done, makes me actually feel guilty. That's how I used to think. But then I said, starting therapy, I was actually told that's the best thing you could do for yourself. Just try to go back to normal, because you sitting and wondering, you know, negative things in your head, or just sitting and dwelling in your own, you know, self-pity at home doesn't help anybody, especially not your child. So you going back to normal, taking care of yourself, eating. If you like to exercise, take up exercise. If not, if you like different hobbies, I started taking up painting. So what I did, I've got a block just behind the set here, but I've got a block of paper and colouring pens. It's just to, instead of me sitting and thinking about, you know, different things and what's going on at the hospital, you know, I'm occupying myself with other things. And some people will probably take on a new skill set. Maybe you can look at things like Skillshare and see if you can take up, you know, I don't know, web design or something, just to kind of take your mind off, you know, having to wonder about, you know, what's going on at the hospital and just kind of dwelling in that hole. Do you understand what I mean? For me, it's working. I don't know for you, you know, you might just want to sit at home and be alone. I've done that as well. Each to their own, but there are alternatives to, you know, sitting at home and just, you know, crying like I did for a long time. But just try to find something that makes you happy, something that makes you feel that, you know what, I can get through this. No matter how silly it might seem to other people, because no one's going to understand what you're going through. as I said, I'm getting a lot of love and a lot of support on TikTok. I decided to, you know, document my journey. No matter, you know, what happens, I just want to document it to show other moms that, you know, you're not alone. Other people go through this and we can get over this, you know, together. Just have a, you know, positive mindset and, you know, communicate with others and see what other people have gone through. What have they done to overcome, you know, their dark times? What have they done to overcome, you know, think about self-harm and things like that. It does pop in the mind, but, you know, there are help, like the Samaritans helpline is there. I was given a bunch of numbers for those kind of thoughts. If I had a thought like that, they said just call this number, just have someone to talk to. Some of them are 24-hour support, but again, it depends on where you are, because not everybody is in that moment. Some people might just be able to cope with it, but I wasn't for a while, but I'm better now. Mostly just know that you're not alone, and we go through a lot of things in life as parents, as moms, and life is hard enough, so don't be hard on yourself. We're all trying our best, you know, whether we gave birth premature or we gave birth to a sick child. You know, carrying a child is not easy. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll take them up to the next video and we'll discuss it further. Feel free to share the video with someone that's going through the same thing, or someone that you want to bring this awareness up to. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.